Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at simplifying fractions using our ratio table. So here I have three different fractions that I want to simplify into the simplest form. And so I need to remember that first, when I'm simplifying a fraction, I'm not changing its value. So for example, 2 out of 4 is equivalent or the same as 1 out of 2. If I drew a strip diagram, I could show that I have 2/4, which is the same as saying I have 1/2. So both of these represent the same value, but one is in a simpler form. So that's all that we're trying to do here when we're looking at 12/36 or 12/36, 44/77, and 25/35. So the first one we're going to look at is 12/36, and I'm just going to extend this into a ratio table. And so I know that that top part represents the part out of my whole, and I can just simplify my fractions by creating an equivalent comparison. The first thing I see is that 12 and 36, they're both even. And so I know if a number is even, then I can at least divide it by 2. So I'm going to simplify first by scaling down by 2. 12 divided by 2 gives me 6. And 36 divided by 2 gives me 18. I notice they're still even, which means I can still simplify it further because they are at least divisible by another 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. Well, I see that they're not both even, but I see that they're both divisible by 3, which means I can divide 3 by 3 to get 1. And 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. So I get the equivalent fraction of 1/3, which you also could have gotten if you recognized that 12 and 36 were both divisible by 12. So 12 divided by 12 would get me to 1, and 36 divided by 12 would get me to 3. So it doesn't matter which process or which direction I go, as long as I get to the simplest form of the value. So the next fraction that we're going to look at is 44/77. And I'm just going to erase this a little bit so it's not in our way. And so for 44/7, I'm going to extend my ratio table. I see that 44 is even, but 77 is not, so I cannot use 2 to simplify or scale it down into another whole number. But I noticed the pattern with 44 and 77 that the tens digit and the ones digit are the exact same digit. And I know this happens when I've multiplied a single digit by 11. And so I'm going to scale down here by 11. I know 77 divided by 11 is just 7. And 44 divided by 11 is 4. And I recognize I cannot simplify any further. So 4/7 is the simplest form of 44/7. So now when we take our look at 25/35, again, I'm just going to extend the fraction into a ratio table. And right off the bat, I see that they're both divisible by 5. So I'm going to scale down by 5. So 25 divided by 5 gives me 5. And 35 divided by 5 gives me 7. And I can't scale any further, so I get that 5/7 is my simplified fraction. Thank you.